Number 8. Honda Rebel 1100. Honda's Rebel series has been a top choice for new riders, offering affordable, approachable cruisers that still carry just enough style to feel cool. The Rebel 500, with its low seat height and manageable power, has been a hit for years, so Honda figured they'd step it up a notch with the Rebel 1100, a beefier, more powerful version for those ready to move up. This bike rolled out with a 1084cc parallel twin engine, borrowed from the mighty Africa Twin adventure bike, though tuned down to deliver 86 horsepower and 72 lb-ft of torque. It's smooth, torquey, and paired with a low 27.5-inch seat height, making it accessible for shorter riders or those still building confidence. Honda sweetened the deal with an optional DCT, dual-clutch transmission, a clutchless automatic, option that's rare in this class. Add in modern features like LED lighting, a sleek digital dash, and a starting price of $9,399, and on paper it looked like the perfect step-up cruiser, easy to ride, decently powerful, and priced competitively. So, why are dealerships struggling to move them off the floor? It all comes down to identity. The Rebel 1100's minimalist bobber styling is undeniably cool, but it doesn't scream Honda cruiser the way the Shadow Phantom or Fury does with their bold, classic lines. Honda's loyal cruiser fans felt it lacked the soul they expect from the brand, while newer riders weren't sure it stood out enough to justify the price. Then, there's the DCT debate. Some riders love the effortless shifting, especially for city traffic or laid-back cruising. But purists dismissed it as a gimmick, arguing that it stripped the bike of the raw, hands-on experience that makes motorcycling special. Add to that stiff competition from bikes like the Indian Scout 60 or Yamaha Bolt, which offer more presence and charisma for a similar price. And the Rebel 1100 started sinking fast. Dealerships have resorted to steep discounts, but even bargain pricing isn't convincing buyers that this Rebel is worth joining the family. Number 7. Indian FTR 1200. Indian Motorcycle has long been known for crafting stunning retro-inspired cruisers that turn heads and win hearts. However, the FTR 1200 was their bold move to break out of that mold. Their vision? A flat-track-inspired street bike that would merge vintage cool with modern performance, appealing to a younger audience eager for excitement. Under the hood, it's powered by a 1203cc V-twin engine, pushing out a respectable 120 horsepower and 85 lb-ft of torque, plenty of muscle to deliver serious thrills. Pair that with top-tier Brembo brakes, fully adjustable suspension, and a sporty upright riding stance, and you'd think Indian had a guaranteed winner. They even marketed it as a versatile beast, built for urban warfare or backroad blasts. When it launched, it carried a price tag of $13,499. Not exactly cheap, but not outrageous given its promise. So why are dealerships practically begging buyers to take them off their hands? The FTR 1200 never quite found its audience. Traditional Indian loyalists, those die-hard fans of the Chief and the Scout, wanted nothing to do with this street tracker hybrid. They craved the deep rumble of a classic cruiser, not a high-revving oddball that looked like it just escaped a dirt oval. On the other hand, younger sport bike riders who might have been intrigued by its performance found it too heavy. At 489 pounds, it struggled to compete with lighter, more nimble options like the Yamaha MT-09 or Kawasaki Z900 bikes that delivered more thrills for less cash. The styling didn't do it any favors either. It had a unique retro-modern flair, but it wasn't iconic enough to carve out a niche in the crowded market. Dealerships watched as these bikes piled up, unsold, and even after Indians slashed prices by over $1,000 and tried refreshing the lineup with rally and carbon editions, the FTR 1200 remained a tough sell. Indian is still working to find its footing with this model, but for now, dealers are cutting losses and clearing space as fast as possible. And if you think that's a rough start, wait until you hear about Number 6. Kawasaki Versys-X 300-door adventure bikes are hot right now, with riders eager for motorcycles that can handle both pavement and dirt. Kawasaki spotted an opening in the entry-level ADV market and rolled out the Versys-X 300. A lightweight adventure bike aimed at new riders and budget-conscious buyers. At its core, the Versys-X 300 packs a 296cc parallel twin, delivering 40 horsepower, Modest, but enough for light off-road riding. Weighing in at just 386 pounds, it's one of the lightest adventure bikes out there. It also features a 19-inch front wheel, long travel suspension, and a tall windscreen, all for a wallet-friendly starting price of $5,199. Kawasaki even offered optional panniers, selling it as the perfect starter ADV bike. On paper, it seemed like a winner. Nimble enough for city riding, affordable for beginners, and capable of tackling rough trails. So where did it all go wrong? Power, or rather, the lack of it. While 40 horsepower is fine for city commutes or backroad cruising, the Versys-X 300 struggles on highways. Riders found it gutless at higher speeds, buzzing like a lawnmower as it struggled to push past 60 mph, especially with a passenger or gear. Then there's the competition. Honda's CB500X and KTM's 390 Adventure deliver more power, better tech, and smoother rides for just a few $100s more. Riders looking for their first ADV bike quickly realized that a little extra cash got them a lot more motorcycle build. Quality issues didn't help either. Buyers complained about flimsy plastics, excessive engine vibrations, and a generally bare-bones feel that made it hard to justify the price. With poor sales, Kawasaki is now phasing it out, leaving dealerships stuck with unsold stock. They're practically giving these away, but even with heavy discounts, the Versys-X 300 couldn't keep up with the pack. Number 5. Yamaha Star Eluder. Yamaha has a strong track record of building solid motorcycles across multiple categories, but the Star Eluder was their attempt at taking on the bagger touring crowd, a market traditionally dominated by Harley-Davidson and Indian. Their strategy: offer a lighter, sportier alternative that still packed all the premium features long-distance riders crave. Under the hood, the Eluder was powered by a 1,854cc air-cooled V-twin, churning out a hefty 126 lb-ft of torque. Plenty of low-end grunt for highway haul. It featured sleek, stripped-down bagger styling, complete with hard saddlebags, heated seats, a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and a powerful audio setup. Priced at $22,499, it came in cheaper than a Harley Street Glide or Indian Chieftain, positioning itself as a value-packed alternative for those wanting comfort and performance without the hefty price tag. Sounds like a winning formula, right? The Eluder's biggest issue was that it lacked a clear identity. The hardcore touring crowd, riders who rack up thousands of miles, stayed loyal to Harley and Indian, where brand heritage, dealer support, and resale value matter. Meanwhile, sport touring enthusiasts lean toward models like BMW's R1250 RT or even Yamaha's own FJR 300, both of which delivered sharper handling and better tech for riders focused on performance. Then, there was the build quality issue. Riders called out the plastic finishes and complained that the bike lacked the premium heft expected from a $22,000 touring machine. Compared to its polished rivals, the Eluder felt underwhelming. Customization was another drawback. Unlike Harley's baggers, which have a massive aftermarket scene, the Eluder had limited options for riders wanting to personalize their bike. The result? Sales never took off. Dealerships ended up drowning in unsold inventory, slashing thousands off the MSRP just to clear floor space. Yamaha took a big gamble on the touring segment, but it didn't pay off, and now dealers are feeling the sting. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Pan America. Harley is known for cruisers and tourers, not adventure bikes. So when they dropped the Pan America in 2021, it was a massive shakeup, a full-on ADV contender aimed at BMW and KTM's dominance. It packs a 1,250cc Revolution Max engine, pushing 150 horsepower and 94 lb-ft of torque. Tech-wise, it's loaded: adaptive ride height, a 6.8-inch touchscreen, multiple riding modes, and a starting price of $13,999. Despite strong performance and features, dealerships are drowning in unsold inventory. Why? Loyalty and execution. ADV. Riders are fiercely loyal to BMW, Honda, and KTM, brands that have spent decades perfecting adventure bikes. Harley's lack of a proven track record made buyers hesitant. Worse, early models had issues: glitchy screens, suspension quirks, and a top-heavy feel off-road. Despite refinements, the rough debut hurt its reputation, and now Harley dealers are slashing prices to move stock. Number 3. Triumph. Thruxton RS. Triumph's Thruxton lineup has long been a favorite among cafe racer fans, blending timeless British styling with modern performance. The Thruxton RS was meant to be the ultimate evolution, faster, sleeker, and track-ready. Beneath its sleek tank sits a 1200cc parallel twin, cranking out 103 horsepower and 83 lb-ft of torque. With top-shelf Öhlins suspension, Brembo brakes, and grippy Pirelli tires, this thing is built to rip through twisties. And it's a stunner, featuring classic lines, a solo seat, and a premium finish that screams British heritage. Triumph set. The price at $1,600, marketing it to riders who wanted vintage vibes with serious performance. On paper, it should have been a hit, so why are dealerships struggling to sell? Simple: comfort or the lack of it. The aggressive cafe racer stance, with low clip-on handlebars and rear-set pegs, looks badass, but murders comfort on anything more than a short ride. Your wrists ache, your back screams, and long rides become a torture session. Traditional Triumph fans, who love the Bonneville's relaxed ride, passed on it. Meanwhile, sport bike riders balked at the price, since bikes like the Ducati Monster or BMW R90 offered more versatility for the same money. The RS is a blast on a track or twisty road, but for everyday riding, it's a compromise most weren't willing to make. Now, dealerships are dropping prices hard, hoping to clear out stock before these become collector's items gathering dust. Number 2. Suzuki GSX-S1000GT. Suzuki aimed to grab a piece of the sport touring market with the GSX-S1000GT, a fast, practical tourer with a 9999cc inline-4, 150 horsepower, and a quick shifter. At $13,799, it's a bargain compared to BMW's R1250 RS or Kawasaki's Ninja 1000 SX. But buyers found it bland, competent, but lacking soul. Plus, Suzuki's limited dealer network hurt availability and service, leading to stalled sales and major price cuts. Number 1. Indian Challenger Limited. Indian's luxury bagger, priced at $30,000, aimed to outshine Harley's CVOs, but the massive price jump turned riders away. Resale values tanked, sales stalled, and now dealers are slashing prices to clear stock. Seen any of these bikes stuck at your dealership? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more. Ride safe.